So what we are doing is module one, okay, DC network theorems. I think something KVL, KCL all has been taught to you. Mesh analysis, loop analysis, node analysis. So we'll start with solving electrical circuits. How to do it? Means if in a circuit you are told to find some current, you can apply mesh node analysis, whatever you can apply and find out that. But you can apply also some theorems. So some theorems maybe which we'll study for today is Thevenin's theorem, Norton's theorem. Some other theorems also you have to study maximum power superposition, but that is not for this class. But the solution of a circuit can be brought by many methods. So in a question, it will be given that solve this circuit, find out the current through this resistance by using mesh analysis, by using Thevenin's theorem. So you have to follow whichever is stated in the question. So what is basically a Thevenin's theorem? Now, I'm just going to explain you what is the meaning through this statement. Is that if you are given any circuit, okay, which is active linear bilateral circuit consisting of any sources, it may be dependent, it may be independent, but in our problem first year we have only independent source, that is direct voltage or current source, okay, not dependent source. So that whole circuit can be simplified into a simple network. See, this is the whole network. If you see the diagram over here, is a whole network. There can be 1,000 resistances, 1,000 voltage sources, 1,000 current sources. Okay. Apart from the load resistance through which I am told to find out the current, the rest part of the circuit which is present in this dotted line, it may be any number of resistance, it may be any number of voltage source, current source, whatever is made into one simple circuit consisting of one single voltage source and one single resistance. Okay, so if I just show you something over here, if there is some resistance like this, some resistance like this, so many things, voltage source over here, voltage source over here, this whole circuit is solved and brought into one voltage source and one simple resistance. That voltage source is called your Thevenin's equivalent voltage, VTH, and that resistance is called your Thevenin's equivalent resistance. And after that, solving the whole circuit, okay, solving this whole circuit, after that we have got this voltage and resistance, then we'll add the remaining portion which is left is the load resistance. We'll add it and just apply Ohm's law over here. So V by R, VTH by RTH plus RL, that will give you your IL, which is nothing but the current through RL. I was told to find the current through IL. So what I did is, apart from the load resistance, I solved the whole network and reduced it into one voltage source and one resistance. And then added at last the load resistance and found out the current source. This is the simple logic over here. You can go through the statement. It is given in words. It is what I have explained in my own way. It is written over here only. Okay, you can go through it. Now, there are some things which you have to follow. What are it? Next slide is regarding that. So how can you apply your Thevenin's theorem in solving a circuit? Now we are there are some steps. These steps you should remember. And there are three steps. From first only we will understand how many steps are there? Three steps. So if you are given any question, solve this by using Thevenin's theorem, it should be in your mind that I have to use three steps. So what are the three steps? We'll understand. So in a question, a network will be given like this. Suppose this is a network as taken by me, and some load resistance will be given RL. It may be placed over here. This one may be a load resistance. This one may be a load resistance. This one can be a load resistance. Okay, so it can differ. For my diagram, this is my load resistance, which is mentioned as RL between terminals A and B. Okay. So what we are doing is that the first step is we will find out the voltage across this terminal. So as I have told, apart from the load resistance, what is the circuit? That dotted line, parts of the circuit is this network which is drawn over here, this network which is drawn over here. Apart from the load resistance is this part of the circuit. So what I will do is try to reduce this circuit into one single voltage source. So first step is finding out that voltage source VTH. How will you do that? So the step is that we have to remove the load resistance. So we have to remove this. RL will be removed. So A and B terminals are open. See, RL removed, A and B terminals are open, and across this open circuit terminals, I'll find out the voltage, that is VTH. Okay. The other circuit, part of the circuit remains same. Now, for this case, what I am drawn over here, this circuit, this is the equivalent circuit. Okay. For any other circuit given, the equivalent circuit will change, obviously. You can understand, means simply think the logic. If I have different circuit over here, more than 3 or 4 resistance, more than 1 voltage source, how the connection is done, according to that, your wave diagram will change. So it is very essential to draw the diagram for every step. Otherwise, you can't solve. So main network, from that main network, you want to find VTH. What you have to do? You have to remove your load resistance RL. Okay. So across this terminal, since it is open, we'll get a open circuit voltage plus minus VTH. We generally term the A terminal as plus, B terminal as minus. You can do the opposite way also, no problem. Your answer may come as negative, or maybe the opposite terminal may give answer positive. Whatever is there, no problem with plus minus sign. But general thing we should follow is A positive, B negative. So what we'll do next, try to find out the voltage VTH. So for this network I'm discussing, we'll have two problems, and in that also we'll see how VTH is found. Now, if this path is open, AB is open, no current will flow through this R3. So I can remove this. Okay, I'm just marking it with a cross. So whatever the current flows over here is flowing through this. So I have given a direction over here, and I can give it clockwise, anti-clockwise again. But why I'm giving it clockwise? Because positive is at the top. So current will come out of this positive. You can give in the opposite direction also, your answer will come negative. So in order to make my answer positive, I am giving my terminal, means direction of current through this over here. So can I say my current is V by R1 plus R2? If this is removed, R1 and R2 is coming in series. So V by R1 plus R2 is your current. So this current is V by R1 plus R2. Okay. Now, if you find the current through this I, that is I. So if I multiply I with R2, we'll obviously get this voltage VTH, because no current is flowing through this. This is not there. R3 I have removed. So if I connect a voltmeter over here, what potential drop it will measure? It will measure the potential drop across your R2. So I into R2 will give you your VTH. But this is not a general formula for VTH. Remember, for each and every circuit, this formula will change. This is for this circuit, I have shown you the formula. So for each and every circuit we'll see in the problem, it may change. Okay.
Sir, now only you told that we have to
Yes.
consider both of the resistors in series. But now you told that after finding by finding VTH we have to only take R2. I didn't understood that part.
Oh yeah. See, where, yes. Now what I am doing is that for V, a current will flow through this loop. And where is VTH? Now you see VTH is at this terminal A, at this terminal B. Now if you remove this one, okay, no current is flowing through this, right? Because this is open. So this A point can be written as this point, A. This B point can be this point, right? Because there is no resistance.
Sir, why are we removing R3?
Because no current is flowing through this, no drop will be there.
Oh, okay.
This is this part is, one second. Yeah, this part is open, right? No current will flow. I into R3 will be 0. So I can easily remove my R3. Okay, so what will be VTH? If I connect a voltmeter over here, what will be VTH be? VTH will be the drop across this R2. If there is a current flowing through R3, then it would have been IR2 plus IR3, but or IR3 minus IR2, whatever may be the polarity, we'll look into that. Okay, but for now, for this diagram, since that part of the circuit is open, no current will flow across this, no drop will be there. So this is removed. So basically, this VTH is appearing across over here only. VTH is across this R2 only. So that's why we are taking R2. But
So sir,
Yes.
Sir, here the resistance one is having no.
No effect on VTH. Yes, it is having no effect on VTH because this VTH is connected over here, right? This point and this point is having over here VTH. This
Okay.
point is A, this point is B, this is VTH. Okay. You will look into the problem and you will understand in a better way, I think so. You will look into a problem and then you can understand. Okay. Next step we'll go into is that we have to find RTH. Now, in order to find RTH, what we'll do, we'll remove all the sources because we are finding equivalent resistance. We don't need any source in the circuit. So that's why I've written a point over here. Please go through this point. I'll discuss it now.
Hello, sir.
My net went
Everything
off.
fine, sir.
No,
Okay,
my
sir.
net went off. So okay, again I'm starting. Wait. It's a 53. What is happening?
Hello, sir.
Hello. Yes.
Sir, could you please a slide for once? I missed the. Okay, sir. Thank you. Oh no, the previous one.
Previous one is just a definition, means the theorem statement.
Sir, but still show it once.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Don't worry, I'll share all these notes with you. You can get it.
Classroom, in the classroom.
Yes, in the classroom.
So have you
Please
created the classroom?
Yes,
Yeah, it's there.
I'm sending the mail every day.
Yes.
Today also I've sent it. You just join
Sir,
it
please
because
upload this in classroom.
I'll do it. No
Okay.
problem. Okay. No need to worry about that. According to that classroom also, you have joined 53 students have joined. Only 40 have joined in the classroom. Please join it. Okay. Remaining 13 students, please join it. Today also, half an hour before the class started, I have sent the link. You please join it. Okay. Let's start now. Okay. So what is happening over here is in the step 2, we are finding that equivalent resistance. So okay. So we had found out the voltage source. We are finding out the equivalent resistance. So the step in order to find out the equivalent resistance is we have to deactivate whatever sources is present in the circuit. So in order to deactivate a voltage source, we'll short circuit it. Means short circuit voltage is 0. So if I want to deactivate this voltage source, I'll take a wire and connect these 2 points. So this will be short circuited. So the voltage source value will become 0. And if it is suppose a current source is there, what I will do, I'll open circuit these terminals. So if a current source is open, it can't flow because current always flows in a closed circuit. So that is the note given over here. How to deactivate a voltage source? We have to short circuit the source, and deactivate the current source, we have to open circuit it. So what we will do is short circuit this voltage source V. So basically we are short circuiting it. So no value of voltage source will remove this voltage source and make it 0. And all other parts of the circuit remain same. And this load resistance is removed because from this terminal we are seeing. If we are seeing from this terminal RTH, we have to solve from the opposite direction. So we'll start solve from this direction. So you can see over here, there is 2 branches which are connected in parallel. Okay, so R1, R2 in parallel. So R1, R2 by R1 plus R2, and that these 2 parallel will give a single resistance that will come in series with your R3. So R1, R2 by R1 plus R2 plus R3 will be the equivalent resistance for this network. Okay, for this network I am saying because if the original circuit changes, this circuit will also change. So this formula RTH, how can you write down, is basically by series and parallel combination. If there is a series combination, you will write R1 plus R2 plus R3. If there is parallel combination, what you will do, R1 R2 by R1 plus R2. Like this, you have to make all the combination and find the equivalent resistance. And at last, the step 3 is to draw this equivalent circuit. This is called as Thevenin's equivalent circuit. Up to this RL, we have solved the whole network with VTH and RTH. So with VTH and RTH we have solved, and then between AB terminal, what was there? Between AB terminal, what was there? RL. So we'll add this RL. So what will be IL? V by R. So what is V? VTH. What is R? RTH plus RL, because these are connected in series. So RTH plus RL. So step 3 for any circuit is same. This circuit will be same. This equation will be same. Step 1 and step 2 will differ according to the main circuit. Okay, so we'll look into a problem. I think that will clarify all your doubts. So we are taking a circuit over here as shown over here, and I am told in the question find the current through 2 ohm resistance. So this is my basically RL. Okay, so I'll mark 2 points over here AB. My first work is to identify my RL, okay, which is 2 ohm. Please mute yourself. If you have any doubt, you can ask in between, or please keep yourself muted. Okay, so what we are doing is that we are identifying the load resistance from the question. Okay, so load resistance is 2 ohm. 2 ohm identified, marked our 2 terminals A and B, and we always consider A as
load resistance will be given
yes,
in the
always
question.
given in your question. It may be 2 ohm,
Okay,
it may be this 10 ohm, it may be this 5 ohm. For my question, it is 2 ohm. Okay, it will always be given.
Okay,
in
sir.
the question. So next, what we will do? A terminal positive, B terminal negative. I'll just think it like this. Okay. Next, we'll follow the steps. So what was my first step? We'll remove this RL. Remove this RL. Find the open circuit voltage across this point. Find the open circuit voltage across these 2 points. So I've removed RL. Make my plus minus over here and try to find out VTH over here. Now what will be my approach over here in order to find out VTH? So I can say if I find out VA and subtract it from VB, so that will be VTH. My first means common sense tells me that VA minus VB will be VTH. Simple thing. So VTH is nothing but this one, because directly this minus is connected to the voltage.
Sir, VB minus VA or VA minus VB?
VA minus VB is connected to plus, this is connected to minus. So VA minus VB. Okay. So VA minus VB I'll do is equal to your VTH. Now basically this B over here,
Sir.
yes.
Sir, will there be no voltage drop across 10 ohm resistor?
Yes, there will be there. I'm coming. No problem. I am coming to that. Okay. So what will be VB basically? So what is VB? VB minus connected to this minus. So I can write minus 10. Now what will be VA? VA is basically the voltage drop that you are telling across this 10 ohm resistor. Okay. So how will you calculate the voltage drop? So you need to find out the current. So this is forming a closed path over here. I can find the current. So I have mentioned I. So can I write KVL over here? It comes out of positive. So plus 40. For resistance always minus, current comes out of minus. So minus 5 into I, minus 5I. From voltage source coming out of the minus sign. So minus 20. From this resistance also, the current is coming out from the minus sign. So minus 10I. So from this you can solve your I. So I is equal to 1.33. So you can calculate voltage drop across 10. What will be that? 10 into 1.33. So 10 into 1.33 minus of minus 10. So that will give you 23.33 volt. Or this is a very simple method. I hope everybody has understood this. But I generally follow a method, same thing only. I generally follow like this. What I consider, instead of considering AB terminals, I consider this voltage as VTH. And I take a direction over here. So if I go according to the direction, it's leaving from this minus. So I'll write minus VTH. From here, the direction is leaving from this plus. So plus 10. From here, the direction is leaving from this plus. So plus 10 into I. Okay, so VTH is basically, if you bring on the other side, so this will be equal to 0, means closed loop voltage is equal to 0. So VTH brought on the other side will give you VTH is equal to 10 plus 10I, which was nothing but the previous equation, 10 plus 10I. So you can write according to VAB also. You can write according to my method also. Yes, tell.
Hello, sir.
Sir, can I apply nodal analysis, sir? by
And
taking.
no, not necessary nodal analysis should be applied over here, because it is a simple one loop present. So why we will go for node? You can apply nodal analysis. Very means
We
you
can
can.
consider that above
Yes,
10 the terminal as the highest point and then
yes,
proceed.
yes. This will be VA only. You can apply, no problem. But that will means that you have to write a equation for this one, this one. But if you apply loop analysis only from one equation, you are getting the solution. Okay. See, from the
Okay.
first only I told you, this problem can be solved by nodal. This problem can be solved by your mesh. This problem can be solved by any theorems which is taught by. But over here we are concentrating Thevenin's theorem, and we are trying to minimize our steps. So if there is one loop, it is better to apply loop analysis. Okay. So that's the reason why I applied over here. Because only one current will flow. No need to calculate the voltage. If you can calculate, no problem. Then directly you will get VA, and VB you know is plus 10. So VA minus VB you'll get that. No problem. Either ways you'll get the same answer. Yes, other person was saying something else. Anyone? Okay, I hope you have understood this one, how to find out a VTH. See, for every circuit, this circuit was a different VTH, how you found out. This circuit is different VTH, but main idea is same. You have to remove the load resistance and find out the potential drop across that 2 points. How you are doing is depending upon how you are using. Okay, you can apply node, you can apply mesh, whatever you want to do. Okay, you might have heard about another theorem, maybe it will be taught later, superposition. You can apply superposition also. Okay, and apply. But I generally go by this procedure, so I have shown you this one. Next, what we'll do, we'll find out, do step 2. How? We'll find out the equivalent resistance. So how we do find out the equivalent resistance? Going into the diagram, we remove this terminal, so this is not there. Across this point, we'll find out RTH. And what we do, we deactivate all our sources. So if we deactivate all our sources, if we deactivate all our sources, so what will happen? The voltage source is short circuited. So we'll short circuit this point. This voltage source short circuited, this voltage source short circuited. So basically there will be 5 ohm, 10 ohm, this point short circuited, and this point open, 2 ohm position open. So this 2 ohm position open, this is short circuited, this side was short circuited, and this 5 and 10. Now if you look into this diagram from here, this 5 and 10 are in parallel. So 5 into 10 by 5 plus 10 will give you one single resistance. So you remove this one, this 2. So that single resistance will come over here between this terminal. So basically your RTH is 5 into 10 by 5 plus 10. Okay. So according to this diagram, your RTH will be. Please be careful how your diagram looks like. Okay. Previously you see in this formula, this was parallel combination plus series. But now over here we only have these 2 parallel combinations. Okay. So that will give you RTH. And at last the step is same. You draw your Thevenin's equivalent circuit, that is VTH, RTH, RL. So what was VTH calculated? 23.33. What is RTH calculated? 3.33. What was our RL? 2 ohm. Then use this formula, general formula, IL is equal to VTH by RTH plus RL. That gives you 23.33 by this 5.33. That gives you 4.38 ampere. So these are the steps. Okay. Next problem we'll just go through very quickly. So find the current through 10 ohm resistance. So identify 10 ohm resistance. Next step, finding out VTH, we'll remove this 10 ohm and find out the potential drop across this. So remove 10 ohm, compare this 10 ohm remove, I'll find out this VTH. Now over here again, see the approach. What will be VA? VA will be the drop across this 5 ohm. What will be VB? VB will be the drop across this 20 ohm. So I can find out 5 into I1 minus 20 into I2, because in this loop I2 current flow. So that should be my general formula, or you can go by process. You can consider the direction over here. You can consider a direction over here, then minus VTH minus 20 I2 plus 5 I1 gives you 0. So that is written over here, or you can find out VA minus VB. Okay. So while finding out VA minus VB, please be careful of the potential. Minus connected to plus, so plus into minus gives you minus. So this will be, the value will be minus over here. And over here, please be careful, minus was connected to minus, so minus and minus gives you plus. So that's why it was becoming plus 10. Please be careful of that while applying the VB logic. Okay, if you apply my logic, then no need to take care of your means minus and plus signs. Only whatever sign is drawn over here, you have to take care of it. Okay. So first is find an I1, because in this loop only one current flows. So I1 I can directly write as 10. But in this loop there is a voltage source and a resistance. So I can find out 100 by 30 plus 20. You can apply your mesh analysis, write the equation, or if you think it logically up to this, there is no circuit because it is disconnected. So this is a complete series circuit. So V by R. So V 100 by 50, that gives you 2 ampere. Or you can apply loop analysis and write it as according. Okay. Then you can get your VTH. Okay. Next, same thing, we have to find out your RTH. What we'll do, we'll remove this 10 ohm, deactivate all our sources. What is the 100 volt voltage? So we'll short circuit this point. Okay, 30, 20 and 30 and 20 short circuited. So we'll go over here, 30, 20, this point short circuit. Okay. Next, on the left hand side of this 10 ohm to this A point, which resistance is connected? 5 ohm. So to this A point, 5 ohm is connected. And there's a current source over here. Why I've shown you with you current source? Because current source is open circuited. Once I have shown one problem, I've shown you with voltage source. This one is a combination of current source and voltage source. So you have to remove this, deactivate this current source. How will you do it? Make it open circuited. So open circuited means basically you are removing it. So I have removed it. So there is no current source over here. This path is open. So this is the point where I'm looking. So I'll solve from the extreme path, which is my extreme path, this one. So 30 and 20 comes in parallel because there is divider over here. This branch, these are two different branches. 30 into 20 gives you 600 by 50. So that is 600 by 50, that is 12. And that combined will give you 600 means resistance, that is your 12. That 12 comes in series with 5 will give you 70. And at last the same thing. Draw the equivalent circuit, find the equation. Okay. So I hope so nobody is having doubt with this. If anybody is having doubt, you can ask me. I'll clear it. So it depends upon how your circuit is, how you are writing the formulas. That depends upon. RTH is basically series parallel combination, and this is just applying mesh analysis and finding out the voltage drop across A and B. Okay. So
Sir, what is RTH?
RTH is basically, and the first slide I've told you, see what we are having a whole network, right? We are having a whole network. This is my load resistance. Okay. I am solving this whole network over here and reducing it into one single resistance. That is my RTH. That is Thevenin's equivalent resistance. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay. So this is a very simple problem I have given for you. Next problem, you can try it at home. Okay. This problem, can anybody tell me what is VTH? So which is my load resistance? 20 ohm. So tell me what is my VTH? Very easy. It can be solved using verbally only.
100 volt.
100 volt, correct. Because we are opening this, we will kind of find out VTH over here, and this 100 volt is connected in parallel to this path. So obviously your VTH will be 100 volt. Correct. Okay. So VTH will be equal to 100 volt. Exactly. Okay. Next is. Tell me what will be RTH. This is my load resistance only. Tell me what will be RTH. You can use your copy or pen, whatever you are having in front of you, and try to find out, because this is a tricky thing to find out your RTH. I would like you to tell me what will be RTH. Current source will be open, voltage source will be short. Load resistance is 20 ohm. Okay, find out RTH. How much?
15.
15. Okay. Next, anyone else can try? Can anyone else try?
10 by 3.
No. Okay, I'm getting it. See, current source open circuit, I'll draw it, 5 ohm. I'm not writing units, okay. This is 10. This is 10. This is my point over here. Now be careful over here. Over here we are finding RTH. Correct for you, those who have told 15, but you have not considered one thing. This voltage is short. This path is short over here. Now you see this 10 and 5 comes in series, so 15, right? So this is my RTH. This is my RTH over here. So instead of drawing this line over here, short over here, can I draw this short line over here? Same, right? It is connected between these 2 points only. What is short resistance? 0. So 0 resistance and 15 ohm comes in parallel. So RTH becomes 0. 0. So RTH becomes 0. So please be careful. Okay. Okay. So 5 ohm was not there, removed it. 10 and 5 comes in series. You have solved this part. But there is another path over here, which is a voltage source that is becoming short. So if my this path is short, this branch and this branch comes in parallel, because we are finding equivalent resistance between these 2 points. So that's why my RTH becomes 0. Then last step everybody can do. I'm not worrying about the last step. Okay, so that's why see VTH 100, RTH 0, IL 5. Next, this problem you try it on your own. Okay, I'm not discussing, you try it on your own. I'll give it in the classroom, you try it. Okay. Next, what we'll do quickly is Norton's theorem. Okay, Norton's theorem and Thevenin's theorem, if you study by comparison, it is very easy. Okay, we'll study by comparison only, because we have understood how Thevenin's theorem is done. Norton's theorem is also very easy. Now, Norton's theorem is called as a dual of your Thevenin's theorem. Why? Because you see in the diagram, in the first diagram, this whole network was reduced into one voltage source in series with a resistance. Correct? Now, similarly, in Norton's theorem, that same network is reduced into one current source in parallel with the resistance. Okay, and then the load resistance comes into picture. Okay, so that's why it is called as dual. Current source can be converted into voltage source and all. I'll come into that at the last point, but for just now you should understand like this. So I'm not going through the statement over here, you can go through it. Same statement, instead of voltage source I have written a current source. Instead of series resistance I have used a parallel resistance over here. Now steps are 2 and 3 are same. What is step 2 and 3? I'll come to one second just. Okay, what is step 2 and 3? Find your Norton's equivalent resistance, same as your Thevenin's equivalent resistance. So we'll remove all the source, open circuit the output terminal, find the resistance. Last circuit, okay, it should be Norton's. Okay, draw the Norton's equivalent circuit. What was our Norton's equivalent circuit? Current source parallel with RN, parallel with RL. So current source parallel with RN, parallel with RL. So we have to find IL. So what will be IL? Will be, you will apply current divider rule. You can apply current divider rule when two resistors are in parallel, which states that total current, what is my total current being supplied? These two resistances is IN into opposite resistance. What is the current I am finding through RL? So the opposite resistance is RN divided by RN plus RL. So this is the standard formula of your IL for Norton's theorem, and previously we had studied IL formula also for Thevenin's theorem. This is step 3 will be same for all Norton's theorem circuit, and this formula will also be same. Okay, so now what is step 1? How is step 1 is differing? Now I'll make a comparison and make you understand so that you can understand it very easily. See, what we were doing in step 1 in Thevenin's theorem, we were open circuiting this 2 point and finding out the voltage, right? Because open circuit will have voltage, there will be no current. Now what we'll do, since we are finding the current, what we'll do, we'll short circuit this 2 point. So short circuit means voltage will become 0, but a current can flow. So that current will be called as Norton's current. So I'll go to the slide now and you can look into it. So see now, okay, IN is flowing through it. Okay, means short circuited. No
Sir,
voltage
please
is there.
repeat the first step, please.
Yeah, first step. See, I'm just trying to make a comparison, and you can look into the figure over here. See, over here what we were doing is that we were open circuiting the load terminal, which is this one, and finding out the open circuit voltage, because in open circuit current is 0. Just now we are done. How to deactivate a current source? We have to open circuit it. So 1 minute is left. You kindly join the meeting again if the meeting ends.
So same link.
Same link. Mhm. So we are finding the open circuit voltage over here. Now what we'll do, I have to find current. So what I will do, I'll short circuit this 2 point. So now current will start flowing in this path, right? So that current which is now flowing is known as IN. So previously what we are doing was open circuit. Now what we are doing is short circuit. Okay. Now,
Okay, sir.
okay. So you look into this now. So I have short circuit it. So between A and B, a current will flow. That current is IN. Now this current can be solved by many methods. I have not shown it. You can do series parallel combination, R2, R3 parallel, then R1 series, find out total current from V, then apply current divider rule or apply mesh analysis. Okay, I could have solved this network anyways, means R2 parallel, R3, then series with R1, then find out the total current V by R equivalent, find the current over here, then these two resistors are in parallel, so I can apply current divider rule. Or I could have applied mesh analysis, so one loop over here, or I could have applied node analysis, whatever you want to find. And we have to apply all those logics and find out your IN. So we'll look into a problem, then you can understand it in a better way. Okay, so I've taken a problem over here. Same problem can be analyzed with your Norton's theorem also. Next problem I have taken same, but this is a different problem I have shown for you. See what is happening over here. Over here 10 ohm resistance is
Sir.
given. Yes, tell. Tell.
Sir, which question is to be solved by which theorem that would be mentioned, or
Yes,
we can
yes.
solve by any theorem?
No, that will be mentioned. If it is not mentioned, you can solve. But generally, if you look into the question papers, we always mention solved by Norton's theorem, solved by maximum power, solved by Thevenin's. We mention it. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So what is happening over here? The first step is different only. Second and third steps are just same over there. Third step is according to equivalent circuit. So previously what we are doing, we are removing this 10 ohm and making this path open. Now I'll remove this 10 ohm and make this path short. So if this is short, this will form a loop over here and a current will flow. So apply your KVL over here. Okay, this is a mesh analysis. See, series parallel you can't do because there is a voltage source over here. If there was no 12 volt over here, then 8 and 2 would have been come in parallel, that in series with 5. Okay, but since there is a voltage source over here, you have to go for mesh analysis or loop analysis. So what is that? You can do it over here. I can write it directly because I1 flows through 5 and 2 ohm. I can write directly 7 I1. 2 is common between 1 and 2. So I'll write minus 2 I2. And current from here is coming out of this plus 20. So plus 20 I've written. Over here I2 is flowing in the second loop. I2 is flowing through 8 and 2 ohm. So 8 plus 2, 10. So that gives me plus 10 I2. 2 is common between 1 and 2. So minus 2 I1 is equal to whatever. Where is the current coming out? Minus 12. So that's why equal to minus 12. You can solve this two simultaneously. Don't solve it like this because I have tried to minimize all the equation and shown it because your first year you have to write the KVL and do it. I've written it directly. Okay, so solve it. Solve your 1 and 2. You can do this, solve simultaneously, and you will get the value of I1 and I2. But which current I need? Okay, see from this network, you can see I1 is not needed because IN is nothing but your I2. IN is the current that is flowing through this path. So if I calculate I2, then I can calculate IN. So solve accordingly 1 and 2 such that your I1 cancels out so that you get directly I2. Because if you find I1, then one extra step will be there. Okay, so that is logic of yours. You have to follow that. So try to solve your I2 so that you can get directly your IN. So over here we are getting IN over here. Next step, what? Same thing. We'll remove all our sources. So what is my 20 volt? This is a voltage source. So short circuit this 20 volt. 12 volt. This will be short circuited. So 5 and 2 will become in parallel. See, 5 and 2 comes in parallel. And then comes your 8 ohm. After that, this point is short. Then this point is open. 10 ohm is open. So this point is short. This point is short. And then this 10 ohm is open. You look from this side. You have to start from the extreme end. Apart from this means opposite end of this. So 5 and 2 is in parallel. So 10 by 7. So 10 by 7 plus 8. That gives you 9.4. Last step, draw your equivalent circuit. Okay. And use your equation. Now over here I want to tell you very important thing. Please remember. Now, if you calculate your I2 over here, it comes out to be negative. Please be careful of this. Your I2 comes out to be negative, minus 0.67. Now, whatever drawn over here, the equivalent circuit drawn over here, this one, is because of IN coming out positive. Okay. So now if my IN comes out to be negative, this direction will change. So this IL direction will be from bottom to top. So that's what I have used over here. Okay. So it is going in the downward direction. So IL is from bottom to top. So always my answer, I will try to keep it as positive. Okay. That's why I have changed this whole direction over here. Please be careful. It is applicable for your Thevenin's voltage also. Okay, Thevenin's voltage also. If this VTH would have come as -10, okay, so I would have written 10 over here and make the upper terminal negative, lower terminal positive. Then current direction would have changed. So according to your answer, you change your circuit. Okay, this is the standard one when your VTH comes positive. If it comes negative, change the polarity and the direction of current. Same for your Norton's part. Okay, same for your Norton's part. Okay, since my answer is coming negative, I have changed the direction of the standard diagram, Norton's equivalent circuit. Okay, next circuit, I have taken this problem 2 of Thevenin's theorem only over here. Okay, so that to show you whether it is giving the same answer. Okay, so Norton's theorem, 10 ohm resistance. So 10 ohm short circuited. Okay, now this part also forms a loop, this also forms a loop, this also forms a loop. Okay, so from mesh analysis in this one, this is the current source in the outer loop, means outer branch. So I1 can be directly written as 10 ohm. You apply KVL in mesh 2 where I2 is given. I have taken a clockwise direction. Please be careful over here. I have taken, sorry, anti-clockwise, and you see this IN is taken as clockwise. So the current which is flowing through this 20 ohm is IN plus I2 because this direction is same. Okay, so that's why I've taken I2 plus IN. But if you find the current through this 5 ohm, this IN is entering from the top, in I1 is entering from the means bottom, and I1 is entering from the top. So over here 5 into IN minus I1 will be the current. Okay, so do that. I'm leaving that as a home task for you, and try to find out this equation. Okay, if you have any doubt, you can tell me, or you can ask the teacher who has taught you your mesh node analysis. Okay, so try to write it on your equation, means this equation, and solve it. Because these are same direction, this current through it will be I2 plus IN, and solve it, you will get I2 this, IN this one. Okay, so IN will be 10 by 17 ampere. Now next, same procedure, Rn will be this one. Okay, remove this, Rn will be this one. So if Rn is this one, means the Rn and Rth is same. So instead of Rth, you will just use Rn over here. Okay, so instead of Rth, you just use Rn and find out the equation, means Rn value, it will come as 17 ohm only because same resistance, Rth and Rn is same. Last, what we will do is draw the equivalent circuit. So IN is found out, Rn is found out, RL is found out. Use your standard equation, substitute your value. This is 10 by 17, this is 17, Rn is 17, then is 17 plus 10, 17 plus 10. So that gives you 0.37 ampere. So if you go into this problem using Thevenin's theorem, so you see 0.37 ampere. Okay. Now, another thing I just want to tell you over here, the last point, is that source conversion. I have not made any slides over here, but you can understand from here only. See, what I am saying as source conversion is that a voltage source in series with a resistance, see, voltage source in series with resistance can be converted into an equivalent current source in parallel with the same resistance. So this VTH in series with RTH is nothing but your IN in parallel with the same resistance, because just now we have seen RN and RTH are same, so the resistance is same, so let it be R only. So this resistance becomes same, but now say this current source over here comes in parallel with the resistance. Now what is the value of current source? This current source is basically V by R. Now if you compare this one, I'm just showing you how to relate it. I couldn't have done so many procedures if I had known this one. I have already done VTH and RTH, and this equivalent, I'm drawing it over here for your understanding. This can be drawn as a current source like this, in parallel with the same resistance, that is RTH Rn, that is 10 ohm only. And what is the current value over here? V by R. So what was V? This is VTH. So what is what was the R? RTH, right? What was VTH calculated? 10. So what was RTH calculated? 17. So what will be this current source value? 10 by 17 ampere. So the IN should be 10 by 17 ampere. So let's check what we have done. IN. How much it is coming? 10 by 17 ampere. Okay, so I did not have to do so many steps. Okay, that is for my means. I am saying you logic, but if you are told to find out Norton's theorem, then you have to apply the steps only, right? So that is how you can understand your answers, how you can check your answers, whether it is same or not. If you are applying same Norton's and Thevenin's theorem in the same subject. Okay. So these are the two problems I have given it over here. You can try it. Answers are given. See, one answer is with negative. You can try it at home. Okay, you just try it. So this is up to today. I'll share this lecture in your Google Classroom.